Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and here we go. This is Raul Paul from XRP.
Seasonality. We're at a really good point in the seasonality chart. And you would imagine that we are now diverging from this because of the, repeat after me, the Treasury General Account and the government shutdown. Once that comes back in, we start climbing the curve to the end of the year. Does it start in November and we play catch up? Either way, we should have a back end of the year that's very strong. And in the end, you'll have forgotten all about this shit. Much like we told you in April 2024, September 24, April 25. I mean, it's all the same shit. You forget about it after a while.
That's correct. And then here's the modern investor.
We're going to enter a world where a lot of people are going to realize that they missed out. And then the problem is that they won't have really missed out. If XRP is going to $7, XRP is going to $70. If Ethereum's going to 10,000, Ethereum's probably going to 100K, in case you missed those other videos from before. If Bitcoin's going to 500,000, it's probably going to 5 million, it's probably going to 14 million. I say probably because no one knows the future. So the idea of, I saw someone the other day on Twitter talking about it. They said they're really annoyed at the idea of XRP's price being so high because they want to buy more. They want it back at 1 cent. And I'm like, if you think that its current price is a lot, by the time it gets to $38, you're going to have a hard time.
I agree. Now here's Brian Armstrong. He was one of the guys that was at the Senate to work on the crypto bill.
Yeah, well, we had great meetings with the Democrats in the Senate and on the Republican side today. And the good news is that there's strong bipartisan support and will to get this market structure legislation done. It's important for America, and the 50 million Americans who've used crypto want to see it get done. And so one date we heard floated was, let's try to get this markup done before Thanksgiving. I think that there's 90% of the issues are already aligned on and agreed, and there's draft text going back and forth, a lot of great cross-functional collaboration happening. That last 10% are the remaining issues, and everyone committed to get in the room together and work it out, and hopefully we'll see some draft text or get it up.
It's coming, national security. Look at this. Elipal made an announcement today, or yesterday, whatever. We remain dedicated to delivering the highest level of crypto security through our cold wallets technology. To stay true to this mission, we are now focusing entirely on cold wallets. So I think they're getting away from the, we kindly ask users who are currently using a hot wallet to transfer their assets to a new wallet address. So they don't want to do the hot wallet thing anymore. And I understand why after that guy lost $3 million of XRP. Probably a good move. Now, just wanted to ask you, we covered the hit piece by this guy, Jeff John Roberts, who is a fortune writer, but he also worked for Decrypt, which Joseph Lubin's company, Consensus, literally it came out of his incubator, and they're still an investor is the way I read it. There are no coincidences. I've gone through and watched multiple videos of this guy talking to Joseph Lubin, Vitalik Buterin, and he's at ETH Denver. He's at the Ethereum events. It's obvious what's going on here. And you're going to look, we've seen tons of this stuff. ETHgate was all about this kind of stuff. And don't think for a minute that this kind of stuff is going to go away, because this is digital currency wars. And I'll show you another, it's not a coincidence, a lot of this, but here's him with softballing Vitalik Buterin.
No question too, but I think Ethereum has flourished in part because it's got a leader view, whereas Bitcoin, has, I think, had more fractious and fights because in the absence of that. So Could Ethereum, do you think, survive on its own without you right now?
I think on a technological level, it's definitely gotten to the point where it absolutely...
You don't have to listen to all that. But what you need to understand is I've watched this guy's interviews with David Schwartz, Brad Garlinghouse, and it's every single question has a design of questioning XRP and all this stuff. But the interviews with the Ethereum guys are the exact opposite, and he never, ever asks them questions like this. And I said, hey, Jeff John Roberts, in your recent article on Ripple, you said Ripple is a goofy business. More than a decade now, the company has held vast quantities of magic beans known as XRP, which it dumps into the markets at regular intervals. Can you direct me to your article covering Vitalik Buterin directing the Ethereum Foundation to dump 70,000 Ethereum on the market to double their runway? I couldn't find where you asked him in this interview. I looked at that interview. Here he is.
Somewhat famous within the space, where I basically said the cryptocurrency space has reached $500 billion. Does it deserve it? Like, do the things that it's actually accomplished, like hold a candle to the promises that the market is ascribing to it? And I mean, the subtext of my answer is not yet, and that was proven very right fairly quickly. And
but you didn't short it, did you?
So. I did get the Ethereum Foundation to sell about 70,000 ETH, like basically at the top, and that's doubled our runway now. So, and it was one good decision that happened.
So you don't ever see these quote journalists question the Ethereum guys about the disguised whales or about all the dumping they've done, and they've done it in a disguised way. You don't know because they disguise the whales. That's the whole design of it. There's a reason that journalists like Jeff John Roberts never ask those questions. I used to question Laura Shin all the time. She wrote the book on Ethereum, and I used to do tweets, and I would say, when are you going to, what part of the book can I find the part about the disguised whales at the ICO? They completely avoid it. The reasons are obvious, folks. These are digital currency wars. Do you think it's a coincidence that Ethereum announces a partnership with Swift and they're launching a prototype pilot, and they know how far ahead of them that Ripple is? Then Ripple announces the G Treasury acquisition, and then all of a sudden a pro-Ethereum journalist, in quotes, does a hit piece on Ripple. These are digital currency wars for all the money, folks. That's what this is all about. Smokes over the target. Look at this. Unstoppable. This is the problem for the Ethereum hit piece journalists, or the pro-Ethereum journalists that do hit pieces on Ripple and XRP. They're not stopping anything. Unstoppable XRP, the undisputed CoinDesk 20 champion. That's the fact, Jack. Now, this is Nate Garachi. Can't overstate the significance of the T. Rowe Price filing for an actively managed crypto ETF out of left field. T. Rowe is quintessential legacy asset manager founded in 1937. They managed some 1.8 trillion in assets, but just got involved with ETFs in 2020, now moving to crypto. Point is, legacy asset managers are quickly trying to figure out how to implement some semblance of a crypto strategy. A number of these firms actually missed out on the ETF boom. They want to avoid the same mistake with crypto. Hoping crypto goes away is not a good business strategy. This isn't TradFi co-opting crypto. You have to think deeper than that. A firm founded in 1937 is now building out the full infrastructure to handle crypto trading and manage a crypto ETF. That has to happen before they move towards tokenizing securities, baby steps. And I said BlackRock will come out of left field too. And that is the fact, Jack, too. Goldman's gold forecast, these guys think it's going up over 5,000. And then we had JP Morgan forecast gold prices reaching an average of 5,000 plus per ounce in Q4 2026. And then we have Peter Schiff. Listen to what he's announcing.
So you might as well just have tokenized gold and have something that's stable to the price of gold, because that's real stability, because gold will maintain its purchasing power. So ideally, the one thing that makes sense to put on a blockchain is gold, because it will work and it will do all the things that Bitcoin promises but can never do. You can use tokenized gold as a medium of exchange, as a unit of account, as a store of value. And I probably will. Look, I mean, I'm probably going to launch my own token at some point. I'm building out a platform on Shift Gold right now that people will be able to buy gold. In fact, they'll be able to buy. I don't want to start promoting it yet because I'm trying to get it all up and running.
Give a quick rundown.
No, but so you can buy gold at Shift Gold, right? On an app on your phone. We won't send you the actual gold. The gold will be stored in a vault that you own and you have it. And you'll be able to transfer ownership of that gold to other people, through the app. And you could use it, as a means of exchange. You can pay or be paid in gold
instantly.
And you can redeem it in physical gold, or eventually you can redeem it in a token. I'm also going to give people a debit card where if they have $5,000.
And this guy's about to jump out of his skin here.
Worth of gold or silver, and they take that debit card and they buy something for $10. $10 worth of gold will get sold to cover the transaction, right? So you can use your gold as a basis of trade in commerce. But ideally, you won't sell the gold. You'll use the gold to make the payment because the counterparty will want to get paid in gold. You'd say, yes, I'm going to sell you this product. I'm going to provide this service. Pay me in gold. And then you can transfer the quantity of gold, instantly at very low cost, much cheaper, much quicker than you could.
I think that guy may have soiled his pants listening to him. I don't know what, he acted like he was about to pee in his pants or something over that. Well, it excites me too. Tokenizing gold, that's huge. Okay, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com, which is the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these videos, or if you can join through X by hitting the subscribe button. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.